Hey guys, how are you doing today? I hope that you are doing fantastic. I know I'm doing fantastic because it's Friday, and that means that this is the last Friday that I'll have to go to work because the last day of school next week is Tuesday, and so I'm super excited about that. Like, I couldn't be more excited. I don't know if you can tell how excited I am because that means I've got all of these summer projects that I'm excited to do and I just can't wait to get to it. Side note, if you guys are wondering what this little blemish is, I decided at like, I don't know, 4:30 in the morning that I really wanted to cuddle Cleo. And, well, she wasn't quite prepared for my sudden love and need to cuddle, and she nicked me right underneath my eye. It wasn't on purpose or anything, but with that and then, like, allergies running rampant, like, I'm not wearing any makeup except for some lipstick and some mascara, because I didn't want to put in the effort, guys, I'm not gonna lie, and also it's not good to put makeup on like an open sore, and so you get me at almost my natural beauty. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with there. I have no clue. But today I am doing a TBR, which I don't normally do TBRs because I'm a mood reader and past Courtney is kind of bossy when it comes to future Courtney, and present Courtney is stuck in the middle. So I am super excited for this TBR though. It's for the Library-A-Thon, and I will link all of the announcement videos. I got turned on to this by Jashana. I'll leave her channel down below, but it's sort of just a read-a-thon from June 3rd through June 9th, and there are 6 challenges in which you try and get books from the library that meet these challenges. So I have used Hoopla, Overdrive, and then my library's app to get an audiobook and 2 ebooks downloaded onto my Kindle and on my phone. So I'm really excited about this. So without further ado, I'm going to go through the 6 challenges. Challenge number 1 is to borrow and read a book set in a country that you've never read a book set in before. Challenge number 2 is borrow and read a book that you've never heard of before. Number 3 is borrow and read a book that is outside of your comfort zone, so like a genre, an age group, something like that. Number 4 is borrow and read a book that you've been meaning to read but you haven't gotten around to, like the TBR pile next to your bed, or maybe all the way through around your house. You know, the TBR pile, the infamous TBR pile. Number 5 is borrow and read a book recommended by a librarian. And last but not least is borrow and read a bookish book. For instance, a book about books, a book with book in the title, or a book with book on the cover. I said book a lot of times. Book. Yeah, I think I got it out of my system. Maybe. I don't know how many more times I'm gonna say it. It could be a lot. I don't know. So, I'm being very weird today. Very sorry, I apologize, you know, in advance for all of my weirdness for the rest of this video. So the first book is going to cover the challenge for borrow and read a book set in a country that you've never read and borrow a book that's outside of your comfort zone. So that's going to be 1 and 3. And the book that I'm choosing is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. So this is actually set in New Beijing, which I've never even been to Beijing. And I don't know if this is set in our world or not. I'm not 100% certain. So that counts for reading a book in a country that you've never read one before. And then the other one is read a book outside your comfort zone. And YA is most definitely outside of my comfort zone. I've read a few YA books over the past year or 2, but not a lot. I'm not really drawn to them. But I do love the fact that I believe that this series is fairy tale retellings, like princess retellings and things like that. So that's what's got me intrigued, and it was recommended on my, I believe it was my Hoopla app, and I'm getting it in an audiobook form. So hopefully it's a really good audiobook. If you guys know or have listened to this series on audiobook, let me know down below what you thought of it. For challenges 5 and 6, so read a book recommended by a librarian and read a bookish book, I'm choosing The Library at the Edge of the World by Felicity Hay McCoy. I thought that this book like hit the nail on the head because one, it was on like a section that says recommended to you. So I'm counting that as a library recommendation read. Plus library is in the title, so I should get extra bonus points for that. And then the fact that there is a book on the cover covers challenge number 6. So I think that I'm doing really well. I don't know a whole bunch about this. It sort of sounds like a cozy mystery, but not really at the same time. It's about Hannah Casey. She is driving a mobile library van between villages of Ireland's coast and tries not to think about a lot of things. She's been abandoned by her husband. She is back in her old hometown and different things like that. And it just sort of seems like it's a sort of rearranging your life and getting your life back on tracks kind of book, which most of Cozies are. So I was automatically like, yes, and totally drawn to that. So I'm super excited about this book. Plus I've been to Ireland and I'm just really, really excited to see how well Felicity Hayes McCoy actually describes the scenery. It's gonna be really, really good. All right, I'm sorry if I'm a little skewed or a little off, but for some reason my phone stopped recording at the very last bit. So I'm going to pick up right where I left off, which is the last 2 challenges. So the last 2 challenges are challenge 2 and 4, and they seem a little bit, they seem right opposite of each other, but I promise they make sense. So challenge number 2 is borrow and read a book that you've never heard of before. And then challenge number 4 is borrow and read a book that you've been meaning to read but haven't gotten around to. So the book that's going to cover both of these challenges is The Sunningdale Mystery by Agatha Christie. It's a short story, and it's a Tommy and Tuppence short story. So for the borrow and read a book that you've never heard of before, I have never heard of this short story before, nor have I heard of Tommy and Tuppence. I think that I sort of heard their name once or twice on books like Whoa on Mara's channel, but other than that, I have no idea about them. I don't know any of their history or anything. But if you guys have been following my channel for a while, last summer Erin got me an amazing set of Agatha Christie books that I have been dying to read a ton of, and I just haven't gotten around to it. So this sort of checks off both. I've never seen this series before, or these group of people, but I've also been meaning to read a lot more Agatha Christie books. So I'm super duper excited to get through these. It's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be great. Let me know in the comments down below if you are joining the Library-A-Thon and what books you're choosing for the challenges. Let's, pump each other up and get each other excited. I'm super excited that it's right after school. It's really gonna set my summer reading just on fire. So I'm really, 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 it's highly anticipated if you ask me. So that is the end of this chapter of Courtagonist. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, happy reading. Bye.